All right. How's it going, guys? We're going to do something a little different today. Just a little different here. We too bright? In case we're too bright, we're going to turn that off. All right. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Doing things a little different here. First things first, big handful of people joined the channel. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. No, the title is not mistaking you. We're trying something different here. That we are. Alright, so I just got a few things that we can go over. A few topics. The first one being Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda Williams. She is against the whole AI thing of her dad and his vocals, and is very much against the AI generation of stuff that's not been work of her father's. And I'm totally on her side with this. Okay, cool. Here, we'll watch this just a little bit. If it pops up an ad, I'm sorry, I'll try and stop the advertisements. We will get ad blocker. Alright,
Zelda Williams, the daughter of the late Robin Williams, described artificial intelligence being used to imitate her father's voice as personally disturbing. Williams claimed she has witnessed people using AI to create actors or even recreate actors without their permission. As some
Now we have protesters. They're probably going to talk about this. I think they do in the video. There's protesters against the whole like AI script writing and AI actors and just all of that all together. And I'm totally on board with that. Like I'm against it. I'm against the AI generating of stuff. I use AI artwork, but very minimalistically. And I still use my words depicted in a poetic format in order to make those pictures. So like I'm still trying to go as human as possible with all electronic and internet devices. It's just I feel like we need to keep the human into the like picture of creation of artwork and progress.
actors like her father have since died and could not give their permission to be recreated with AI. Williams' statement comes after her father killed himself in 2014. Williams wrote in an Instagram story, "I've already heard AI used to get his voice to say whatever people want. And while I find it personally disturbing, the ramifications go far beyond my own feelings. Living actors deserve a chance to create characters with their choices."
And it just goes back to the whole human part of it all. Just the human part of it. You gotta keep the human in it.
To voice cartoons, to put their human effort and time into the pursuit of the performance. Williams also added AI recreations of actors, including their voices, are a poor copy of greater people at best and a horrendous Frankenstein monster at worst. AI was a major reason writers in Hollywood went on strike for...
Yeah, like I was saying, a bunch of people went on strike because they were forcing out work for humans, trying to outsource that to robotics. That's much like how Walmart's doing with the self-checkouts, Quick Trip is doing with the self-checkouts. I personally appreciate them, but when you start putting an electronic tip thing there for like a robot, it seems just a little money hungry in my opinion. But that's a different type of format of stuff that we're talking about just AI in general, right?
Nearly 5 months this year. The strike ended last week after the writers were granted various agreements, including protection from studios mandating writers to use AI when writing a script.
That was from your Washington Examiner there. Like I said, I'm totally against that. I'm on board with Zelda. That's messed up. It's messed up. It's her dad, and since he can't give permission, it should be on her call, his family's call. Yeah, it's just my opinion. Oh no, you can argue with me if you want. If you agree with me, you can agree. Put that down below. I always like to see comments, and I got it to where I can see the comments, and you can see the comments live right here. And if we don't get live comments, that's okay. This is something new. This is something new for us to do. Video might jitterbug, whatever. It happens. You might even hear my wife's TV in the background. That happens. Onto the whole AI things. Like, I've seen a couple things on here. I don't know if it's all true, but it just made me think higher into the AI bull. Like, we don't need that. No one wants that. Would you want an AI tutor to excess? Maybe, but that takes away courses from like teachers. The educational system needs to have human interaction in it. If you don't have human interaction, you're gonna make yourself just an introvert. We're gonna have a society of introverts, which is okay to be introverted. The internet helps a lot of people with that. But at the same time, human interaction is necessary. You gotta get out there, talk to people. Like, just even this right here where I'm talking to you. Later on, you can comment back and it can be a discussionary thing. But you gotta keep humans involved. And when you put AI in place of everything, it makes no sense. Now, I could see like AI subtitles or something, AI generated subtitles where they use that to dub and sub movies. That's not so bad. Maybe not dub, but sub, to where there's subtitles, that makes sense. But where there's like voices dubbed in, I would not say AI voices. I'd say let's keep our actors, keep the human in it as much as possible. Now this next thing that we're going to talk about really disappoints me. I subscribe to this guy. I'm still probably going to stay subscribed to this guy. He's being accused allegedly of doing some pretty dramatic, horrible stuff. Not horrible, but horrible enough to where you can't really agree on it. You know, Russell Brand, he's got his 2 videos here where he talks about it on his own. So you can check those out if you want. They're there on his channel. But my opinion is it's just a sad situation when you need information in the world and you got certain people that are willing to go against the national system, the obvious idiocracy that has been formed. And you got someone that's giving out the right information, but then they're also doing stuff behind their closed doors. It makes it hard to follow someone that is not willing to have a clean, open closet. And he says he's out in the open with all of his stuff, but is anyone really? So, like, it's hard. It's very hard to decide on that if I should just keep following him. But I'm probably going to do it. But if you don't know the allegations are basically that he has a handful of sexual misconduct cases tossed in his way. It's a bunch of stuff. It can be very hard to talk about, and we're not going to get too deep into it here. But at the same time, big no, icky stuff, and it's hard to follow someone when they have that type of reputation. Now, this guy's reputation, Tucker. Big fan of Tucker Carlson. Don't care. I'm not a very religious man, and I feel like he is, but putting that aside, you can have your differences. You don't have to make that a deciding factor if I not like someone or something. I thought the biggest subject with him is you have, like a week ago now, they're talking about why they fired Tucker. They're saying it's because of the lies he was putting on his show and this and that. And I don't see that. See, I followed Tucker for quite a while, and when he was talking about the system publicly on Fox, like, it was the only newscaster you could really follow to feel like he actually gave a damn about something. Like, most of them are just shallowed out eggshells of a person. They don't have no yolk to them. And he seemed to have a lot of yolk, and he was talking about a lot of things that are controversial and that can get you deplatformed and taken down and silenced. And I think that's why he was actually fired. Those so-called lies, misinformation, that word wasn't even really a thing until recently. And it's just why? Why do we have to falsify information so much and then try and distort it in such a dystopian fashion? I just don't fully understand it, and I figured it was worth talking about, just even in the smallest format. Now, we all know how Tucker feels about Biden. We all feel pretty much the same, I think, equally about our president. But I'm not going to go into the talking of just bad-mouthing. That's not what we're about here. But you gotta admit, his new campaign tactic is pretty fucking scary, dude. All right? We all know Let's Go Brandon stood for something. Stood for something. Let's Go Brandon. All right? That was a big thing. But now you got Biden, he's coming up with Dark Brandon. If you don't know what Dark Brandon is, it's in contribution to it's in rebuttal to, I should say, the Let's Go Brandon thing for Brandon from a while back from the NASCAR driving. That was awesome, funny as hell, spiked a lot of music and controversy, and a way to say to hell with the government in a censored fashion. I thought it was definitely fucking cool. But then you got this guy coming here. Sleepy Joe ain't as sleepy as we thought, guys. Dark Brandon memes. I don't know if he started it or if someone else started it. I think honestly the system started it. I was looking at this thing about how like memes were developed for the iPods, right? And it's like a conspiracy behind it. There was memes sent out just before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, about the iPods. And it wasn't the derogatory stuff we've seen before about them being crap, ugly, or exploding, anything like that. No, what was it? It was about snobby people owning them. And if you own them, you were a higher level of person, just snobby as hell. And that spiked a bunch of like purchases, and you can see it online. All the evidence is there. But I think it's crazy that they are putting out memes almost against themselves to cause the attention to where they can have all eyes on them. And I think that's what's going on here with this. So if you haven't seen it, it's 17 seconds. I'll put it on right here. It's on X, Twitter, whatever. I made a fucking Twitter.
I think you should buy this mug. I'll ask you nicely, but he won't. I think you should buy this mug. I'll ask you nicely,
but he won't.
What
the hell, dude? What the hell? You see what I mean? It's a little dark. It's a little on the nose. Oh man. You see? See? Oh god. Alright, so I'm all about fundamental rights for women. That's not all this has to deal with, and we know this. We know this. This has to deal with the Let's Go Brandon thing, and how Biden is like, I can't even say a specific person, how allegedly the system is put forth like a fucking demon. And right now we see the demonic presence of it, and it is so out, like known and out there that even he is like going, aha. So what? What are you going to do about it? Buy my mug. Maybe we won't kick you out of our NWO. I'm not going that far. But I just think it's very freaking strange. I love the cup, though. I would love to own one of them. It would be really, really cool to own something like that. Just so I can poke fun at it some more. But I'll be damned if I'm going to buy this off of the side. I bet you there's microchips in it or something. That's the next thing they'll start talking about. All right. So corrupt government stuff, right? Canada ended up giving out awards recently. You guys hear about this? You hear about this? They gave out awards, and there was a standing ovation. Here, check it out. This moment in the Nazi World War, 2 veterans Anthony Rhoda called him a hero. And it looks like any other congratulatory, person surviving war.
He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
Now, here's where the controversy comes into play. We're congratulating him, he's a veteran. Woo, woo, awesome. Well, we don't know he's a veteran from another country in which we were at war with that other country he was fighting on sides with. Other words, They were praising a Nazi.
From the Second World War who fought.
Yeah. Real crazy. I mean, they apologize for it, you know, but there's only so much you can take away from that. Like, there's not too many Holocaust survivors left. But at the same time, I feel like this is like a big slap in the face for all survivors that remain, and it really is congratulating someone for atrocities. I believe that person should also formally apologize for putting everyone there in that sort of scenario, because that should be a formal apology at least. Now, obviously, I think that person should be, you know, punished for war crimes because they're a Nazi, but that can only be done here in America. You can't force them, I don't think. I don't know if there's an extradition thingy there just for him being an appearance that they can pull. Plus, that person's very old at this time. Would it make any difference? You know, people would ask that. But I think an appropriate apology that is forced would be nice. Yeah, it sounds messed up that it's forced, but then we'll know that that person knows that we have our eyes on them. They can't obviously pull anything like the Nazis did before. And honestly, like I said, this guy's too old to really do anything at this point. He could be an extremist and like educate people in the horrible way, but it does not seem like that's the manner. It seems like someone just put the wrong person in the wrong place and congratulated them for the wrong thing without doing a thorough enough background check. But I think it's a little messed up all in all at the same time.
This is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
And to all Canadians.
Fucked up.
Particularly Jewish MPs and all members of the Jewish community across the country are celebrating or commemorating Yom Kippur today.
Yep. Well, yeah. They think. Now, I don't know about forcing resigning from that, but at the same time, it's not too far-fetched to think that should be done. I think it possibly should very much be done. If you're at fault for causing this sort of shame, it's a shame upon people, upon countries, and it just... If you're going to work two countries together, America and Ukraine, you gotta have a sort of understanding and trust. And when this kind of trust is breached, it's just very improper. We're not going to go into context of how improper a war can be that we are now not part of, but part of. If you want to just call it out even in the fixed lines here, and to where they can hyper-focus and you can't get demonetized, it's still eerie. You're still messed up. It's all still just, it's ugly. Just all ugly.
Admitted that they vetted everyone who was in attendance.
You can't just say it's your job, right? You can't just go with the motions. You can't just say it's your job. Because that's what a bunch of people had happen. That's what a bunch of people did and dealt with. You gotta be willing to say no, to hell with this, and put your foot down. Just thoroughly believe in that. Now, some people call it quitting. I call it just not taking any more shit. Alright? So we're going to talk about quitting now. Now this guy here, he's got a video, I don't know how old this is. About a year ago. Talks about why he quit smoking pot. And I'm going to play a couple minutes of his talk here because it's good to hear both sides of each party on this. Me personally, I am pro-THC, pro-THCA. I'm not very big on the whole concentrated forms or just other properties like Delta 8 and 10 and HCCP or whatever these are. It seems like they're too harsh of a chemical compound that is like derived from one component, which that can't be healthy. It really can't. It should just be in its naturalist form. Obviously, there's so many medications out there that should not be legal, but we have legality problems with that. I don't know. We're not going fully into that yet. Not fully into that yet. But I thought it was a good idea to get both sides. You know, you get the side of the person that did quit, that did smoke for so long, that doesn't really hate, you know, the substance. It is what it is. It wasn't for them.
Combined together, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, basically? Everyone that I know that smokes weed, it doesn't benefit them. They're not rich. They're not super successful.
I want to buy your house.
I told you we're not having commercials. If you can see this commercial, I apologize, but we're having it muted. Bologna sandwiches.
Successful. They're not in a position or someone that I would aspire to be. So why am I following this same recipe and the same protocol that I'm seeing doesn't work? And I realized just how high people were. Like, they'll come over or I'll meet someone and they're energetic and we're talking and it's flowing, and then we smoke and it just goes like this. People always say, oh, I could work out high, I can study high, I could read high, which I was the most functional weedhead anyone ever known. And people in the comment section, please confirm this and tell people.
Can get lazy.
I was the most functional weedhead that existed on earth. I would get so much shit done. I'm an extremely motivated individual. But why make things harder for yourself? Why add that extra layer of challenge to things that are already hard in the first place? It's already hard to wake up early in the morning and work out. So why do that when you're groggy off, a couple blunts from the last night or something like that, right? These are all just things that came to my mind and made me realize I got to step my game up. And
some people can function, some people can't function on it. Honestly, if you're a non-functioning person, maybe you should contribute it like a glass of wine at the end of the night, and it's not so bad. And don't do it right before bed so you're not at a groggy state. Stay hydrated. There's ways to go about it to where you're quote-unquote safe, but even so, you're not going to die from it.
they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for the same results. So that ties back to what I was saying. I was just doing the same thing every day, day in, day out, hoping for the same results. So, there'll be times where I may have felt a bit lonely and I'll smoke and I feel fine. But I need to feel lonely. The loneliness is what makes you go out and talk to people more and be more social and want to be more social, right? Or there are times I'll just be frustrated with situations or people in my life and I'll just smoke and it just dissolves. But why are you dissolving that? Those are things that you need to address. If there's people in your life that are frustrating you, you need to get to the bottom of those issues, or you need to cut those people off. If there's people that aren't doing what they should be doing in your life, you can't just be brushing those feelings under the rug, which is exactly what weed does. It puts your mind in the clouds. I had a friend who...
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. We're not going to go any further. But I thought that was a very strong point. All right. Just for some people, motivation is where it lies at, and you can't be motivated with it. And some people just shouldn't do it, and that's just you. And I thought that was a good point on his part, and the perpetual insanity of it all, like they expect different results. So if you see something in yourself that you don't like, change it. Don't just smoke, change it. Be a functioning smoker if you're going to. If you can't do it, maybe you need to address the elephant in the room and shouldn't smoke. There's so many other popular opinions like that. Like the Joe Rogan's opinion, I think, touches base on it the best. I'm going to try and skip through this one guy's opinion on it, because he's a non-smoker, which is okay. Like I said, we got the opinion of a non-smoker for the most part. But I know how Joe Rogan, you know how Joe Rogan is, and his opinions are very pro, much like mine. So his side, I think, is just said way more poetically, so we're going to play that a little bit.
And they have a panic attack.
Yeah, the smoke.
That's the people that smoke and then have a panic attack, he was saying. I've known people like that. Those are the people that can't handle it to an extent. One extent or another. Echo? Oh, no. Hold on. How's it now? Do we still got an echo? Let me know, bro. We're testing everything out, so... This is all new. All new. Let me see something here. Still an echo. All right, let's see. Properties. Use custom audio devices. How's that? Still echo? Let me try this. How's that? That still better? Any better there? If that is better, drop a 420. That's good. Awesome sauce. Thank you, Zach. See? What would we do without you, man? That's what I'm saying. Everyone, take motion from Zach here. He tunes in so often that he is like helping this channel stand up on its legs. Look at that. If you missed out on anything, Zach, we will touch base on it a little bit, but otherwise just rewind if you could. We'll go forward from here. I'll backtrack a little bit. Just went into the context of Robin Williams' daughter being against the whole AI stuff about her dad, and just how it's not right. You know, the dude's dead. He can't say yes or no to it. It's wrong. It's taking away artwork from real people. There's people that can imitate Robin Williams in his past work, and I feel like that's not an insult. That is like complimentary to the work that they have done, and it's a human impersonating it, not a computer. So that's awesome. I think anything like that is awesome. I loved that whole Mork and Mindy video thingy that came out after Robin Williams died. Like that year later that one actor did. He did an amazing part with it. He put so much heart into that, and he still took that shit off of YouTube because it was like hurting and affecting Robin Williams' family so much. So that guy was definitely not in a at fault way. I don't think he was using it as an art piece, as like respect and contribution towards Robin Williams in comparison to like AI ripping him off and just money. It's just AI is crap. We went into the context here with the same thing. Russell Brand's being a creepy guy and apparently icky stuffs, so it's hard to follow him. Tucker Carlson, you know, they're talking about how he was fired for his lies, but his lies were not lies. They were misrepresented misinformation that wasn't misinformation. And then you got the Biden. We're going to rewatch this one. Zach. Check this out. That echo. Oh, man. I'm just letting you see this just because I didn't know about the echo. Check this out.
I think you should buy this mug. I'll ask you nicely, but he won't.
Watch out, Dark Brandon's gonna be after us. He's watching. Dark Brandon. That's his campaign against the Let's Go Brandon thing. Is such a slap in the face to him, man. Such a slap in the fucking face. And then the Nazis. We talked about the one guy that got praised in Canada, and then they found out he was a Nazi, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, because they didn't do enough background checks. Someone from the Ukraine, that this guy was like, oh, let's bring him in here and let's congratulate him. And then Trudeau's like, oh, shoot, we fucked up. And then they go apologize about it. And now the opposition side wants this guy and others to step down from office, which does make sense. But at the same time, this old guy ain't doing shit. No way he's starting another Holocaust. But we do have to have respect. It's necessary. And then back to what I was saying with this guy, caught back up now. This guy quit smoking weed. We heard his side of it. And, you know, the perpetual craziness to wanting change but never doing change. And if smoking's in the way, maybe you should change and address the elephant in the room. And then, obviously, going into here talking about Joe Rogan's opinion on marijuana as well. So we're going to cover back into this now. Now that we caught back up. Thank you for helping out with that again, Zach. Here we go. So this is Joe Rogan's side of it, and I very much agree with his opinion on this. It's very neutralistic. I love it.
Weed thing's a weird one because it's like many things. It's completely dependent upon the individual, like their individual genetics, their biology, whatever it is that they've had in their past. I know people that smoke marijuana and they're high functioning. And I know people that smoke marijuana and they don't get anything done. And I don't know if they're related. Those two things are related. I think people who generally have drive and discipline, marijuana gives them a break. It gives them a nice just a little rest stop. And I think that's probably beneficial. And
that's like I was saying at the wine at the end of the day. Like some people that can't function while being high, just treat it like that glass of wine at the end of the day. You work hard. Now take a break, man. You know what I mean? So that's one of the mindsets of it all. The other is the high-functioning one that can do it all day. Seth Rogen, high example right there. Literally, high 24/7. He puts out bangers of production on everything. Like, he is producer, writer, actor, always doing something.
Also think it makes you a little kinder, a little more compassionate, a little more sensitive, which is probably very beneficial to someone who's hyper-focused. Like people that are like type A personalities and trying to get things done all the time. You smoke a little pot and you're like, what am I doing? Like, let's fucking relax a little. And then you get back to it. You're all right. I think there's a great benefit to that. But I should also say that it's very popular in the jiu-jitsu world.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that's why I'm going to cut it off. I think it's awesome that they use it for relaxation for sports now. I do believe it is not considered to be a performance-enhancing drug in the NFL anymore. Don't quote me on this. I know this was a touchy subject a while back because someone was getting kicked out or didn't get kicked out. It was a subject for a while back then. But I think that athletes and like Joe was saying there about, jiu-jitsu people, that's an art form. So like to understand and to get into the motion of it all, you got to be able to calm yourself and be in that sense of mind. When you're in sports, you got to be able to relax afterward. You're putting your body on the line for entertainment. For entertainment. You're not even protecting your country. You're entertaining your country to distract them from their bullshit day lives that they have to deal with, that we have to deal with. We like to not have to think about shit sometimes. And now equate that to pot as well. It's equal. Like, it's just as much of a sidestepping drug as it is. Caffeine's more of one, in my opinion. Alright, so Delta 9, here's the thing. With Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, those are all like, it's one, think of, we have so many chromosomes in our body, right? We have so many pieces of a puzzle in our body. Now, marijuana's the same way. You take one little chunk of it, and then exasperate it, but take out everything else. Imagine what that's got to be doing to your body. We don't know. So when they take this Delta 9 compound out of stuff like that and put it into it and just dramatically make that bigger, that it can't be good for your body. I do support the selling of them because you, as your own island, should be able to put almost anything in your body that you want without it affecting another person's pursuit of happiness until it affects someone else's pursuit of happiness. But at the same time, there's stuff that's just toxic for you. And I feel like the more you go into those distilled concentrates of those specific puzzle pieces, it leans more into a toxic nature, whereas THC, in my opinion, THCA even, is more healthy. You know what? And that's, hell yeah, dude. So, besides the legal stuff that I smoke now, THCA has been legal since June in Wisconsin. This is the same stuff that I smoked when I was in Colorado, back before any of these Delta products existed. And I didn't know any different. They're like, THC, THCA. I was like, all right, what's the difference? They're like, it's heat activated. It doesn't work until you burn it. So if you put it in a cart, it won't work till you hit the button. If you put it in a bowl, it won't work till you light it. And if you put it in food, it won't work till you bake it. So it's heat activated. Someone can't just grab it, eat it, and get fucked up. And that's the best thing about THCA. And that has been recently legalized in Wisconsin. Because there's no really a harm. The whole fight against it was war on drugs, and then you could just grab it and get high. A kid could grab it, get high, and get messed up. But you can't do that anymore. So, like, it's a big, big breach there. And it's a lot easier and safer in comparison to taking a chemically synthetic made portion of the full puzzle. You know what I mean? To where you're lacking all these other things. You wouldn't just eat straight oranges for the rest of your life, right? No, you got to be biodiverse. You eat multiple different things to make your immune system better, and it's healthier in that regard. I don't know. If you lean into this is another reason. This happened. This guy talked about this in Minnesota, right? 2 months after that, legalization happened here in Wisconsin for THCA. Coincidence? I think not. Wisconsin follows all state legislation after Minnesota, Michigan, and partially Canada. Now, for it to take as long as it did to get to this point now baffles the hell out of me. THCA was legalized in Texas before Wisconsin. I never seen that coming. But it happened, and it's because of this guy.
It's great we had this long discussion, and now we are finally coming down to a vote. But everybody should know there's a very good reason marijuana is illegal. Mm-hmm. Last year, it killed 480,000 people. Never mind, that's tobacco. Sorry. All right. 140,000. Marijuana killed 140,000 people last year. Oh, alcohol. Sorry. Got my numbers mixed up here. 500. It's got to be 500. This is a dangerous illegal substance. We must ban it. We cannot let it be legal. 500 people died. Oh, that's Tylenol. We are talking about a substance with no lethality. The time for marijuana prohibition is over, and it's...
I just love how compelling he was with his argument there, using them numbers, and then he leaned into the legal one, Tylenol. I don't know. I thought his argument was really good there. I know a lot of people smoke, so I can't say much, and I did more than that. I feel that, dude. We're not going to go too in depth of all of it. I'd like to keep it a little more PG if we could. But yeah, I've fought with addiction. I actually, what was it? Is it 10 or 11 years? Hold on one second. Baby! How many years is it this anniversary for September? Is that 10 or 11? 11. Thank you. 11 years of fighting against addiction, and I feel like I've won for 11 years. And it's hard. Every day is a win, man. So I'm right there with you, and dude, every day matters. So like, congrats to you, man, for getting off all that. Yeah, I couldn't be prouder. You know, that's just, seeing people change is so much better than just seeing shit from the get-go. So like, you got Martin Luther King Jr., and then you got Malcolm X. Martin Luther King Jr., we all knew he was a good guy from the get-go, right? We all knew. Malcolm X was an asshole, dude, but he stood for fucking something. And you seen him change into such a great being towards the end of his lifespan. He goes out to Mecca, or was it Mecca or somewhere else? One of those two. He went out there and seeing everyone gathering there, and they were all different types of nationalities, all different types of colors, and it was amazing. And he became such a poetic man after that. So like, to see someone change into a beautiful individual, when they were from the beginning, they had the ability to be so from the get-go, but to see it flourish, that is so freaking naturally beautiful, man. It's like seeing a woman give birth without an epidural. It's beautiful. It's poetic. But yeah, this guy, pretty sure him and people like this guy are the reason why we're getting legalization here in the States. They're actually working on federal legalization now. If that happens, we will officially have no more war on marijuana, and that would be awesome. Let's decriminalize some people. They're not criminals. They just want to smoke. They just want to smoke. And thanks again for the congratulations there, Zach. Freaking awesome stuff. Now this one, I'm going to have to cut off this video at some point because I don't want to get demonetized, and I don't want to be showing you guys some horrible stuff. But I seen an article on a poet that got stabbed. I don't see how he's a poet, but it's even on Malcolm X Boulevard. Holy shit. I was just talking. Wow. Really leading into each other. All right, but I'm going to cut it off before it gets to anything. You can see some of it, but I'm not going to let you guys actually see the graphic content. I will cut it off before there. This is outside of a bar or an establishment somewhere over in New York. And they're just minding their own business. They keep going, you know, a little intoxicated. They see the dude freak out there, start pushing shit over. I don't know what happened, but I do believe it was racially motivated in the reverse fashion. And yeah, we're going to cut it off right there. It was in a reverse fashion, as in, you know, the two people are standing there, minding their own business. Person goes by, for some reason, is enraged, kicks over bikes and stuff, and then starts lunging at the man. He ends up... This guy defends the woman. It's awesome. I watched the whole thing. He was really heroic about it. Dude goes to slice, right? And the dude pushes away. The dude, you know, just one-handed lightly, keeps himself in between the assailant and his lady friend the whole time. And at the end of it, he's laying on the ground. Dude walks off. Another chick comes around the corner, asks if they're okay. And then this lady of the couple here asked that lady to keep an eye on that dude. She was even looking after the rest of the public. It wasn't even just get that guy. It was keep an eye on him. Don't let him hurt someone else. Even while that happened. That's a hard thing to do. That's some strong nerves. And I hope she can get past the trauma. I hope all parties can get past the trauma. I hope this guy is convicted for whatever means. It didn't seem like there was any provocation. It's really messed up. And, yeah, I hope the man gets charged to the fullest. It's sad. It's sad when it comes to that. Another sad thing is, we don't have everyone that is viewing subscribed. I watch. I don't even know the numbers because it's been like a week, and I'm sure the numbers have changed, and I'm not looking at the analytics while I'm on live. That's not happening. But not all of you are subscribed that are viewing this. And I think that you would like to be subscribed, because then you can hit that bell notification to be alerted when we're actually having videos come out. I don't know if it does it with the live streams, but it should. YouTube, if you see this, get your notifications to work for live streams. You'd be able to compete with Twitch a lot easier. Do it. Alright, so this has been my little news segment type thing that we got. We were trying something different. And yeah, we might do this every so often. The plan was to actually have people on here. We're going to get a podcast type thing set up. And it's going to be much like how we went across it here. But we'll have a little more debatable subjects and more people that can bounce back and forth ideas with. Along with you guys, I would like to keep the chat bar here below, but if we don't have the chat bar here, then that's fine. We'll have the other images, videos of the other people that will be contributing to the podcast and discussions. And always feel like you can be included in these. All these people will learn your names. They will learn your opinions, because you have the right to have them. We just got to make sure we comply with YouTube, so that way we don't get demonetized and we can keep spreading information, positivity, and just a mattersome mindset. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. You guys live it vivid. I'm going to shut this thing down. And just remember, guys, you matter, and be awesome.